Okay, so I'm going to make a video response to CH is True Philosophy and Artificial Intelligence video. He raised a couple concerns in what can happen if humankind does succeed in creating artificial intelligence, the ethical concerns. Let me first preface this by saying I am a proponent of artificial intelligence and do believe that it will happen and even if I were against artificial intelligence, it still would happen anyways because science is going to progress whether we like it or not. It's not simply you people will debate it all they want, but at the end of the day, it's going to progress. It's very hard to stop scientific progress in today's world. Even in the Dark Ages, with the strict oppression of the Roman Catholic Church against scientific discoveries, such as burning Galileo's books and all of those all that kind of scientific well, I should say chains on scientific progress. So basically, artificial intelligence is actually a very positive thing to have for several reasons. One is because we will be able to understand we'll be able to better understand what intelligence is. Been long-standing discussion between philosophers, scientists, mathematicians, and notable academics. Basically, we'll be able to create possibly, if it is possible to create artificial intelligence, we'll be able to have the ability to create intelligent life forms, and some people argue that that's devaluing human life, but really we can't say that because we don't even really know what the value of human life is. Some people are nihilists, saying, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, believe that there is no value to human life. And then there are people who believe that it's subjective. The meaning of life is whatever the person makes it out to be. And some people, hold that there's an objective meaning. But at the end of the day, people cannot come to a consensus as to what the meaning of life is. So I don't really find that argument to be quite valid as to the value of human life, because we don't really know what it is, and we're certainly not very good at valuing it. Just looking at today's world. But anyways, so that aside, there have been a lot of advances in artificial intelligence. For example, one of the main areas that is sort of holding artificial intelligence back is computer vision. I did a video on this about a year ago, I think. Basically, computer vision is where you have the artificial agent. Typically, we'll use a robot, for example. The algorithms today are not very sophisticated for it to be able to effectively process what it's seeing in front of it. For example, if we go to a movie theater, for example, we can immediately recognize, our friends, for example, if we're meeting them up, it takes, less than a second, maybe half a second to realize that, oh, there they are, I know them. However, for a computer algorithm to replicate that is a little bit challenging because you have to take into account the fact that there are, many different facial features, there are many objects around, the lighting, and how far you can see. There are a lot of factors that have to be played into that, and we mathematicians have not really solved all the essential geometric problems associated with this. If we partition for example, if we have a camera, let's just take the camera for example. If we partition that into the parts that the object. For example, in this video, my hands, my hair, whatever. Let's say we can partition the whole image into various components, and then we'll have myself, and then but and then in the background. But how would you define that in terms of geometry? How do you know what is what? And I would argue that the best way to approach this would be if we partition, or I should say, if the robot or intelligent agent, I'll be a little more generic, can identify similar patterns. For example, they can take into account the shape or which pixels are highlighted. If we just take them, I don't know, like a 100 by 100 pixel camera, obviously very low resolution, but let's just use that example. Let's say pixel 8 and pixel 25 and pixel 42 and what have you, any one of those examples. What if we take all those pixels and store as a memory? So pixel, the pixel I just mentioned will become, a memory, memory A. So the next time those pixels are highlighted, you'll be able to now the robot will be able to quickly recall that, oh yeah, this is a pattern. I've had this before. And this isn't too different from how humans reason it. In my opinion, now, of course, I'm no expert in artificial intelligence, but I have done some research in the past and figured that this probably would be at least an approach worth trying. Makes sense, but again, I'm not an artificial intelligence expert. Um, so basically, that is the main issue holding back artificial intelligence, I think, in my mind. And if you look at Gödel's incompleteness theorem, yes, we it's logic and using logical systems. We won't be able to understand all the axioms of that system. Zermelo-Fraenkel set theory, we won't be able to fully understand that. Continuum hypothesis is also proven to be unprovable in ZFC. So obviously, our current understanding of the foundation of mathematics and mathematical logic is a little limited. However, I'm also a proponent that if we use category theory, it seems that category theory is a little stronger, and by stronger I mean has more rigorous and formal meaning than set theory. But I'll do a video series on category theory. I've been doing some research into that recently. Basically, I think if we use category theory and maybe type theory, we'll be able to better understand ZFC and formulate a better understanding of mathematical logic. Maybe understand where Gödel's incompleteness theorem arises from. Maybe it's just because set theory itself is limited, and maybe you need category theory to quote unquote back that up to better understand that. But basically, artificial intelligence, there are the benefits. I kind of have not addressed that too well. Basically, what we need to think about is all the good things that can happen from it. For example, if we don't want to do chores, for one day, you can just have your robot clean everything up, and they'll be efficient at it because they'll be able to understand the spacing between let's just say the dishes. If they want to do dishes, they'll understand how far the dish is from their face or hand. They'll grab it. They'll apply the appropriate amount of distance to their arms and the appropriate amount of pressure to scrub. Um, of course, this is obviously just speculation because we like Sage is true, probably pretty far off from artificial intelligence, but I don't think we're as far off as people think because we already have a lot of the let's say the base for it already in place. We just have a couple main problems I think to solve, and after those problems are solved, there'll be an exponential increase in research, and then eventually someone will come up with you know the artificial intelligent agent will be born. Obviously be a huge news story covered for months and months, and what to do, and then a whole panel of philosophers and scientists and discussing it. But anyways, that's much later down the road. Probably several decades in my view. But basically, if we want chores are one example, but of course, driving cars, if we have artificial intelligence for a driver who's not particularly skilled, a new driver just got their permit, if we had artificial intelligently based cars, they could, for example, calculate if an accident is imminent and maybe somehow intelligently avoid because the rookie driver does not really know what to do, and this way driver fatalities would be minimized or even stopped altogether. Maybe stopped is a little ideal, but minimized for sure because the car itself will be able to have stronger safety mechanisms and know what to do, help the rookie driver out, and then essentially driving safely will become so much easier, and pretty much cars will drive themselves one day. And people who aren't very good, maybe people want to drive, maybe people don't want to drive, but either way, they have the option to choose, which is not the current state of affairs. So artificial intelligence will help certainly in automobiles in terms of saving lives in that manner. Also, if we look at nano robotics and nanotechnology, nanopro going inside, curing diseases and destroying the virus cells. Of course, that's a little farther off because we have to engineer all the machines and understand the genetic sequences of viruses, and then eventually determine a pattern. Maybe there are certain viruses, are a class, and then these viruses can all be defeated by applying I don't know this enzyme or whatever. I'm not chemistry expert, but maybe something like that can occur. So basically, artificial intelligence has a lot of good benefits, primarily in terms of safety, in terms of just general everyday life. Long day at work, or you have a lot of stuff, a lot of housework to do at home. You can just get the artificial intelligence robot to clean up while you rest and recuperate. But obviously, people are chronically tired today. Lots of studies on that. And I guess the downside would be, all those doomsday scenarios portrayed by Hollywood, like for example, an iRobot, Will Smith, that movie, and what will happen if artificial agents start to, think that they're, better than us, or smarter than us, or or any of that. If the idea is to take over, well,